There's a myriad of factors, I think, and I think there's things like population density can be a factor, the configuration of the community, where where those projects need to be relative to the community. There's certainly always a cultural aspect. Each community is different as well too. But I'd say one dominant factor, I think, is the actual process of development that happens in the community as well, and how the engagement happens in the community and the framework around that. There needs to be, whether it's the provincial level of government, regulators, industry, and then municipality, all have a role and a responsibility to play in responsible development. Governments need to ensure that they set very clear frameworks, that they've engaged the communities themselves in understanding how to set up those frameworks and ensuring that they're understood by those communities, and to set clear rules for industry as well. The regulator needs to ensure they're setting fair process and be seen to be executing a transparent and fair process, an equitable process. Developers have a clear responsibility when it comes to communities, and the developers need to engage the communities. Developers need to, one, understand that framework, two, have a very clear strategy of engagement with those communities and have it be genuine. And then the municipalities themselves do have some responsibility in this process as well. They need to ensure that they're engaging and up front as well, and not just be takers of what's coming. And they need to be clear on their role and also their authority. You need to lay the groundwork. You need to understand the community that you're going into. You need to really understand that community. You need to understand the context, and you need to understand the past. And then you need to ensure that you've got a real plan to go out and engage in a real way with people on a human level. But you also need to ensure that you're being seen to listen in addition to listening, because people need to know that the developer that's coming in is listening to their concerns and that they are being taken seriously, and then those concerns are reflected back to them, and then the answer from the developer and how those concerns will be addressed. But if they feel they've been heard and they feel like that there is a genuine answer to what the feedback is, that goes a long way. And they may not agree with the outcome of the decision, but they'll understand, or at least see, that the decision was well formed. It's interesting, I think 10, 20 years ago, we weren't discussing social license in the same way. And that term has a very powerful meaning now, I think, in the discussion around development in this country. And I think that governments, as they develop their processes for engaging communities and stakeholders in development, and the process that developers will go through to lead to decisions around development, need to actually be very considerate of this new expectation around from communities around social license and around the level of engagement.